Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, all. How are you today? I hope all of you in a good condition. Well, in this video, I will do my test of English for specific purpose, core design. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Indri Lestari. My student number are 1911 040362 and I'm from class 5H of English Education Department. Well, in this good opportunity, I will explain about ESP core design for Indonesian hotel industry needs analysis. Well, my material content today is first method and participant. And then the second is instrument and needs analysis. And then the third is syllabus. And the last or the fourth is conclusions. Well, let's start by the first point. The first material is method and participant. Well, the data collected is by using qualitative method. The instrument of data collection was interview conducted on three staff of the front desk department in Kapal Garden Hotel Malang. So, in this journal, tell us about how to know need analysis of student. So, the observer, if one know the need analysis of the student, must collected the data. And in this journal, the data collected is by using qualitative method. And then the instrument of data collections are interview. That in this interview conducted on three staff of the front desk department in Kapal Garden Hotel Malang. And then the next material is instrument. Well, to know the need analysis, we must know the instrument. Instrument in this journal is interview. Well, the first questions in interview are employs difficulties to produce English language. And then staff A answered that it is hard for me to speak English. When I was talking with foreign guests, I answered the questions with limited vocabulary. And then staff B answered that I was stuttered when I was communicating with foreign guests. And then staff C answered, when I was speaking with a new foreign, I knew the meaning. The issue is I was confused to respond it. So, according to the answer of the student, we can know need analysis target. The first is like what is the legs of student? Yeah, the difficulties. First is vocabulary, and then pronunciation, and then fluently. And then the practice need mostly is speaking. Well, the employees like is speaking. The front desk staff asked others for help when they were facing difficulties in English conversation. And then beside that, front desk staff added that they also have difficulties to respond the question in an English conversation. And then the second instrument are uh, the second question. Who do the front desk staff use English language? Staff A answered, I use English when the foreign guests were asking for help. And then staff B answered, I use English when the foreigner asked for facilities and location. And then staff C answered, I use English when the foreign guests were staying here for check-in. Currently, I use English when they were asking for the price, room capacity, and facilities. So, according to the answer of the front desk employees, we can know the need analysis targets point necessities. The necessities of the student, language skill, mostly speaking, right? And then the next is a language aspect. The language aspects are vocab and then fluency, and the last is pronunciation. And then uh, the necessities of student should be able to speak English in cashiering, check-in, and check-out, explaining hotel facilities and directing guests to a certain place. Well, and then the last instrument or the last question of interview are what do they expect from learning English? So, staff A answered that I want to enroll the course because I feel that my speaking needs to be improved. And then staff B answered as I said that my English is on the passive level. Hence, if I offered a course, I want it. And then staff C answer for front office staff, English skill are important. So, according to the answer, we can now need analysis target the wants, the wants of the student and the future need. The first to be able to speak English well with the guest, and then to improve fluency, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Pronunciation. So we can conclude that the wants of students are from the staff want to improve their English speaking, our fluency, pronunciation, and vocabulary. And then the next material is needs analysis learning. The first learning activities. What must the student and the teacher do uh, in learning process? First, student will be given a paper of conversation tag. Second, the teacher is tasked with exemplifying the conversation with good pronunciation. And last, student then imitate it repeatedly. So, the learning activities, student will be given a paper containing example of conversational texts that are often used by foreign guests. Then the teacher is tasked with exemplifying the conversation with good pronunciation, and then the student imitate it repeatedly. So, the increase in skill that can be obtained is new vocabulary as well as pronunciation. And then the second is teaching method. What is the method that used in learning process? Yeah, the method that used is audiolingual method with the drill technique or repetition. And then uh, the last is media. What is the media that it will use during learning process? Yeah, the media used is conversation paper. So the media used is paper containing example of conversational texts that are usually carried out between front desk staff employees and the foreign guest. And then the next materials is the syllabus for one meeting. It is example of syllabus for one meeting that uh, I have created. Okay, in this occasion, I choose meeting 5. And then the objective of meeting 5 is given a conversation about directing guests to the certain place. Okay, I'm sorry, my connection is unstable. Well, let's continue this material. Well, after indicator, there is material. What is the material? The first is greeting to the guest, and then second, how to take guests well, and the last is how to directing guests to the certain place well. And then the media. What is the media that was using during learning process? The media is a paper containing examples of conversations commonly used to direct guests. And then the method. The method that used is audiolingual method with the drill technique or repetition. And then the next is activity. What is activity that must do between student and the teacher during learning process? Yeah, the first, a student will be given a paper containing example of conversational text that are often used by foreign guests. And then next, the teacher is tasked with exemplifying the conversation with good pronunciation, and the students then imitate it repeatedly. And then the assessment. The assessment is can do the conversation fluent and good pronunciation without misunderstanding. And then the criteria, if the student can do 85% fluently and good pronunciation without any obstacle, then they have achieved the learning goal. And then the last point is the time. The time that need during learning process are twice of 45 minutes or 90 minutes. And then that is the example of the syllabus for one meeting in uh, hotel employees. Next, the last is conclusion. Well, the conclusion, by looking at the result of student need analysis, English for a specific purpose is expected to improve speaking skills of front desk employees. Explaining the reason for this, the difficulties to respond conversation between staff and foreign guests, yet, yet the difficulties to understand variety essence was found. In addition, the materials should be taught are pronouncing hotels vocabulary, responding the conversation in check-in and check-out situation, explaining hotel facilities, and directing guests to the certain place. And the last is listening for us for an accent. Well, that's all, guys. My explanation about ESP cognizant at hotel employees. Thank you very much for your nice attentions. If there's some mistakes, I'm so sorry. And the last word, I'm say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.